Distinguished participants, ladies, gentlemen, my dear friends from technology, sales, marketing, supply chain, good afternoon to everybody. We are pleased to welcome you for the webinar on Demystify AI Control Tower for your business operations as easy as click of a button. In this session, I recognize some familiar faces, familiar names, participants. Glad to see you all again. Thanks indeed. All of us in the supply chain are really working tirelessly to make the DCD effect right? In the sense like we want to make sure our delays, constraints, distributions, which are the frequent challenges which we are seeing globally right now, and they are costly affairs as well, be under right control on our hands so that we get the best out of the value chain as we look forward. So as this goes right from the Gartner's world, it's been very echoing on the fact that 70% of the supply chain leaders have been stating the disruption since 2019 is too much to handle on the manual work. And this calls for the supply chain professionals to really understand this disruption well ahead of time, to have the more successful and the best measure to have adopted to overcome these challenges. So the question becomes, how do we identify disruptions, constraints at the earliest possible opportunity, right? So the answer, as far as what we have seen with more than 150 plus customers of ours in the real time, is the end-to-end visibility across the supply chain, which is precisely what today's discussion is all going to be on the supply chain control tower, what it has to provide. While the benefits of the supply chain control tower are easily understood, what we see is many of the organizations still struggle to find or make a way into the reality of control tower. The augmented analytics is changing this space of adopting the control tower with all the predictive algorithms that can be built on the fly with no code, low code environment. So this is what we want to cover across in the webinar today. And you will get to see an easier approach of how augmented analytics and what it makes the supply control tower more easier and easy ingredient for the success. And maybe quickly move on to the next portion of it, and then give you a quick overview of Conversite, who we are and why we are, what we are trying to solve in this space. So Shifkumar, if you can move to the next slide. Okay, so thanks, Shifkumar. So what we have seen in this COVID period, right? The vulnerability across the global chain, making it much more complex for the organizations to understand the planning, optimize, leverage the data they have, and implement AI solutions across. And also gain the trust of whatever the solution they are building, right? Can be from the standpoint of the security, compliances, all that standpoint, but also the ability to deliver, more importantly, the visibility, what we are talking about. And right in this space, Conversite could able to gain a lot of customers' trust. And that's the reason why very recently been awarded by the Next Gen Forum, the solution provider for in the space of digital transformation 2022 award. Very recently, like we got awarded this last week time. And in the space of Gartner, we have been well reckoned for bringing the data science and the analytics into the common hands of the users just by casual querying with the users. So ability to get all the visibility by a natural language querying, and a lot of many awards that we have got through the hype cycles right across, not limiting ourselves into the digital transformation of supply chain, but wide across from the finance, procurement, sales, marketing, all that across that we have won very recently across. And what we solve here, as Gartner is also predicting about, is by 2023, organizations, those have adopted augmented analytics, will outspace their competitors by 80%. So it's a time now to really look into it. And before we dwell down upon how Conversite is enabling the augmented approach here and makes it different, let's hear from my friend, colleague, functional expert as to why end-to-end visibility is the paramount key factor for the supply chain risk management, and how control tower can be put in place in a very short span of time. From Shiv Kumar. Now over to you, Shiv Kumar, from the functional standpoint, how we as an organization can help through the augmented analytics layer.
Thanks, Rizwan. And as anticipated, we see that biggest challenge actually the guys are audience is sharing with us is what we also anticipated. So good afternoon, folks. As per my introduction, I'm Shiv Kumar. I'm a director for the supply chain solutions at Conversite, and I am actually associated with Conversite since last 6 months now. Prior to that, I've been having a 17 years of experience and expertise as a supply chain practitioner with various organizations such as GE India and Fiat India Automobiles. At GE India, in my last role, I was as head of the supply chain for LTI division based out of Baroda, and at Fiat, I was a section head for the car plant. Now, it was necessary to introduce this because I understand the side of this supply chain practitioner and what are the things actually challenges that they always face or the continuously on top of their mind. And this is not a new scenario. It's not only on the month end or mid of the month or maybe for a given particular month. It's always actually going through the minds of the supply chain practitioners. Like these are very typical questions like, what are the schedule, what is the status of the schedule and its progress, or the status of critical customer orders, or whether the supply chain or the supply materials are aligned with the customer demand. Connecting those dots, and a lot of multiple systems are involved there. And as you know, combing through such kind of a data is really a painstaking. It kills a lot of time. Normally I call it as an analysis paralysis, because in supply chain what happens is that like almost 70% of the time goes into the analyzing the situation, understanding the situation before we can even come up with the actions for countering the challenges that we may see. So that's where, in order to have the end-to-end bird's eye view and to understand if the entire value chain is aligned with the customer demand, okay, that customer could be internal or the external also. So like a external customer is an end customer, maybe the dealers, distributors, and internal customer could be even the production per se. For the cost center plants, it is kind of a necessity. Okay, so the control tower is the solution where it have the bird's eye view of your business or the value chain. It is having the visibility, it exhibits the control, it actually tells you or suggests you what actions need to be taken. Similar is the artificial intelligence control towers. It's a pretty new and hot concept for the technology savvy organizations, and they're opting for it quite fast. So coupled with the artificial intelligence, what control tower does is provide you the very impactful, actionable, visual business view, or the, I would say that the, say like a value chain view as well. It enables, it provides you directly, okay, the actionable insights, and those are intelligent also in nature. Not every news is the good news or the bad news or even important news. But what control tower provides you is the news where you need to act upon, which is kind of a relevant for you. And those newses are the even proactive in nature. So it simplifies your business control by a far extent. I would say as a supply chain practitioner, like almost a 50 to 60% of the simplification can be achieved through easily through the control towers. And of course, it is customizable per se. Theoretically speaking, there are like 5 types of control towers used by the organizations. One is focused towards the customer fulfillment. As I said, it is an external connect. Second is the production fulfillment, where the majority of the focus is on to making sure that the production fulfillment is happening okay, throughout the supply chain or the value chain. Then it has got an end-to-end supply chain from like a order to remittance. Once the order from the customer is received till it is delivered to the customer, and all the value chain activities, the entire visualization control towers do provide. Then something related to the logistic control towers, and then there are inventory control towers as well. The most popular are the first three: customer, production, and the end-to-end control towers. Of course, logistic control towers are quite uh, frequently used by the logistic service providers. Now, how does this control tower functions? It takes all the inputs, it connects all the inputs and the functions, okay, associated with the value chain and against the given objective. Now, be it demand planning or maybe the inventories, capacity planning, order management, even in fact demand sensing, fulfillment planning, replenishment, logistics, all these functions are integrated by the control towers. And after integration, it actually responds to the developments around it. It continuously 24/7, it keeps on analyzing those data getting generated from those functions. It has got a collaborative capability also. And it is actually marked by the very advanced technologies like advanced analytics, machine learnings, deep machine learnings or neural network. It also has a capability to integrate with the digital supply chain twin. So this is how the control tower actually keeps on monitoring at your entire value chain, and basis that it keeps on processing, analyzing and responding, allowing you to collaborate and sensing and predicting the developments around it, and brings the valuable insights for you, valuable informations for you. I will quickly jump onto the demonstration. After that, we will join back onto the presentation also. I'm logging into the ConvertSite platform. Today we'll be demonstrating two use cases. One is centered around production fulfillment. Other is centered around the customer fulfillment. Before I get into the insights and other sections, let me give you the visuals of the control tower and how it looks like. Now, this is one prominent and very impactful control tower for the on-time deliveries and the customer fulfillments. Here, what we can see is that all the nodes are the functions or the activities that is going on in order to fulfill the customer requirements. And every function or every node provides an input to the subsequent node. Like what we have here is a sales order. There are total 156 sales orders as of now going on, and the total weight, now this is for one retailer, okay, having the three commodities called atta, cereals and ready to eat foods. Now they have like 156 sales order onto their books, and the total weight of those retail parts is a 1.45 crore kgs. Now this 156 has got the PI, or I will say the line items. Okay, sales order line items are 596, out of which we have completed 125 shipments. Now there are three business plants actually this particular organization is having. One is a ATA specific plants. Out of all these line items, there is a completed production of 22.7 and completed line items are 88. Here for the cereal plants, it has got a 13.4 lakh kgs worth of production completed, and for the ready to eat, it is 17.5. Out of now, with next stage is the after production. There is a stage of the invoicing, where already the invoicing of 22.5 lakh is already completed, and line items invoiced are 87. this is how the entire flow is going on. Now it's an export oriented business. Now the custom clearance is a very important step for it. Now line items for the custom clearance out of all this invoicing done is a 152, and awaiting the custom clearance right now is a 44. There are very peculiar insight this ConvertSite platform has generated, which we will show it to you subsequently. Okay, what is the transit status? There are 125 line items, or the sales order line items are already in transit. Okay, and as the FCA India code is the delivery input term, so the revenue recognition so far is at 25 crores. Yeah, and currently on time delivered performance, if we see the line items delivered on time are 106, and line item currently in process throughout this value chain are 453, which are on schedule. But there are 4 line items which are having the OTD risk. Now, this gives the entire perspective on the visualized picture of your business, what happening, but not necessarily that this is applicable for each and every department, functions, roles. So this control tower has got a unique feature of a filtering. Say, for example, I'm only interested into, say, destination country. I just need to go here. Say I want to select USA, apply filter. And I can see the status of, oh, sorry, there was one more filter active. Now I have got the entire picture of the USA as a market. But what if actually I'm a sales manager and I would like to see according to my requirements only? So this access can be customized for, as I mentioned earlier, can be customized for the managers as well, as per the given roles. Say I want to understand I'm a Rahul and I want to understand what's happening up around onto the business generated by me. And here I can see that my total orders as a Rahul are the total 76 sales order, out of which now 400 and having like a 252 line items. Okay, 40 are already on time delivered and 200 are already in schedule. So the work is progressing really better for me. My revenue, and as Rahul, if there are any other insights for me, those can be customized and easily be seen. But now, if I'm a manager or I'm a head of the business and I got an escalations or the requirements of some other region per se, so I can do it as per the region as well. Say I'm a planted of the atta business. I want to see for my business as a product manager. Here the entire customized dashboards for me, or the control tower for me, is giving me the holistic picture of my entire businesses. This is a very unique feature of the control tower, where not necessarily that the Varun information is applicable and important for Rahul. So as per the roles, that those can be assigned. But the capability of the control tower doesn't end here. Okay, now these are just numbers, but what if I would like to drill down? Now all these nodes are having the drill down capabilities also. For example, I want to see what are those 44 custom clearance line items. I simply click onto that particular line item or the node, and whatever the information is necessary or relevant to that particular activity are available. That what are the sales order number, what is the product, when was the stuffing done, and till today, if the custom clearance is not done, then that's a red parameter. How much is the order quantity? All such kind of a drill down we can do. Now, this is another control tower. I'm switching gears, although there are other two more functionalities which are far, far important from the artificial intelligence standpoint of view. But I'll still cover one more control tower, which is from the production fulfillment standpoint of view. So here, from the production fulfillment perspective, these are the two products and two plants that we have integrated. One is for the diesel engine. So there is a different platform for that at the manufacturer's end, and other is a petrol engine having another platform for the manufacturing of those. Of course, there are common parts. Now, what this control tower is serving the need of the customer is that against the given demand, okay, which is here, what is the my purchase order status or the purchase transaction status, whether my parts are available, are there any parts where the OTIF is likely to be missed into the procurement cycle, and whether those are having any impacts onto the production. Here I can simply go like there are 14 POs which are critical to be released for the petrol PO. So I simply click here and I can see that these are the short cycle POs. Now, what we were typically looking at is a petrol parts, and here is the critical parts for which the PO is yet to be released, and it is becoming now short cycle and may pose the risk ahead of in future. So this is like a proactive feature where it asks you to take the action well ahead of the time so that you do not land into the trouble. Now it's a matter of a further investigation that why those POs are becoming critical. Those functionalities, those insights, artificial intelligence can also bring in, but for this given purpose, we do not want it to that. We did not want to that. But yes, of course, it is still giving you the actions and the area where you need to focus. Now, for example, diesel specific parts availability, there are two purchase orders where we may miss the on time in full. Any questions?
No. It was
so we'll wait for some questions until the demo is done. So there are like a 2 PO which may miss the OTIF during next 4 weeks. Now this is one interesting insight that has came in. Here I simply go and I'm seeing that the Supreme Gasket has the risk into the week of 13th of August, where scheduled quantity is 481, but it is being received delayed. For the engine block, my scheduled quantity is like 414, but expected receipt is 0. So there is a shortage or the OTIF miss. I will not show the shortage, but OTIF miss is likely to be higher. Here, it is directly actionable for the procurement personnel. Looking at these control towers, we don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to look out for the schedule in say like a demand management system or say like a ERP and some supplier inputs or the supplier system, be it a SIP, SRM modules or the different modules altogether. Everything can be integrated through the control tower. Although the data sources may be different systems, those can be brought to one place. Like here, there is a risk of the diesel part, like a shortage in week 34. Now I would like to understand that. I simply go here, and what I see is that OTIF is different, but if I consider my on-hand inventory and the safety stock, when is there likely to be the shortage? For this given current month of a week 34, there is an engine block of a 1.2, part number EB12202, coming from the Trinity Metals. 645 is the MRP schedule. Still, my opening for that given week is like minus 290. It means that in week 33, if this material doesn't come up, even the last week, then I might lose the production of 290 petrol engines in week 33, and week 34, I will not have the stock to even start the production. Pallavi, I hope I am on time. Yeah.
Yes, almost there.
Yeah. Now, a couple of interesting features beyond control tower that Conversite host is a very unique and patented technology called conversational AI, where we got our digital assistant, where you can interact with your system or our platform in order to see what's happening around. We can ask the query like we used to discuss or the ask with our own colleagues. Like, just let me select the data set. Now, in case of the engines per se, now I would like to understand, say, supply performance of precision machining. It also prompts you the questions, and it is giving you the entire performances, what was scheduled, how much it was received, whether there is a OTF missed by the supplier. OTF is missed because the schedule was 2137 for the oil filter, but the quantity received is 2100 only. So let's move to the next query. Select risk of material shortage. And the system is giving me all the material shortages and its detail around it, like which are the parts. We have also earlier seen this. System is proactively coming up. I don't have to comb through my huge data that I may be having. If I need to understand, say like for the procurement purpose, part number, supplier, for PO status, likely again, you don't have to comb through your huge data set or the data. It simply throws what are the relevant informations. If I move to the retailer one, export oriented business, say I want to understand the status or the progress or in fact the details of my particular given sales order or the line item number. Status of sales order SO0021 per se. It has got a multiple line items, but it is giving you all the details that when is your production starting, when it was supposed to start, what is the custom clearance date, whether it has reached to the destination, whether the stuffing is done or not. At a single click of a button, you don't have to call to the multiple stakeholders within the system. Say like a plan for PI number A125. For a given line item, you have got your plan for sales order. So 0010. It is everything is available for you. What is the plan? What is the schedule? What is the target? Everything is coming through this Ask Athena section. In fact, actually, you can ask the interact with the system, which I will show it to you. You can interact with the system in your natural language itself, like what I was doing just now. Now, what's the further value added activity or the unique features apart from the conversational AI is the insight that marks the really a big difference between the traditional BI as well as the artificial intelligence. Now, this insight sections keeps on analyzing your data, your development, your progresses, and through its machine learning and deep learning capabilities, it predicts that what are the issues that you may face, or what are the anomalies, what are the developments happening into your business arena. It comes up like for this given particular one, 33 PI or the sales order line item may miss the on-time delivery. 4 PIs or the sales order line item are likely to miss the on-time delivery. On the click, it again created some queries for you, and the backup information for that drill down is available as well. Like this trend, Singapore requirement has dipped by 78% in 78% in August, worth looking into. And UAE has increased the requirement by 244%, quite substantially. Important news for you, actionable news for you is available at a click of a button. We will move to the next section where we will actually demonstrate how actually technically it is possible. Rizwan and I will speak about it.
See, the basic necessity of AI is from the standpoint of data source. So it is underlying the fact that it is going to connect from multiple sources. Today, like we have come a long way in the digital era of enabling every single department that is required, from the sales, the CRM, the warehouse management, and the logistic systems with all the TMS, WMS, and ERPs from all the operation standpoint. So any system that you are looking in for has to connect to the actual data. So the data orchestration from these data sources has to happen seamlessly into the platform. And today what we see in many of the organizations, or what we have always felt, is all these happen in very different levels, like different multiple tools at multiple levels, bringing the data, lot of hops happening on the data level, and then some tools are taking in from the standpoint of data engineering, all that. So what if you have to look at from one place, everything is happening, the data connectors are available, multiple data connectors to connect down to your any of the source system. We connect about 150 plus connectors we have today, and we connect to multiple ERP, SAP, including the SAPs, Navisions, all this environment, and orchestrate the data from multiple data sources in the way that business function needs to look at it. And entire data science activity, the solution again gets built on the same platform what we are talking about, rather than going around building the solution somewhere and then creating that visualization. So the entire data coming kind of a data lake formation, and from the solution what we are looking in, building the solution through the machine learning ability and the cognitive engines kicking off from bringing that overall collaboration visibility from multiple sites under one roof. Like when Shivkumar was showing the entire control tower from a per se of SO to the fulfillment, actually it was connecting to multiple layer of data, right from the sales order, maybe coming from the CRM that connected to their entire WMS or the ERP system. And then there is a lot more data again back connected to the ocean technology as well, like getting that visibility to know whether these are from the port has started or not. So every single data connected at one place to give you that feasibility of understanding what is all happening, making sure the faith is in the system is across everybody. The single source of truth is available for everybody's, and that is available in their hands, so that I can trust on what I see. Number one, the moment I see that, the more important stuff is coming on. How do I manage with all this? So that was one interesting section what Shiv Kumar was also showing on the proactive alerts, right? Athena giving you those proactive alerts from a standpoint of those alerts can be threshold based, those are rule based, but many of the times that's a lot of algorithm that goes at the back end, right? To understand your entire demand analysis, all that stuff, and then alert you automated alerts of what is all happening, making sure when you start the day, you are connected with your problem statement and then the solution towards what you need to action out from that standpoint. So everything available under one hood, right from getting the visibility, building the solution, connecting the data, to making it much more easier for organization to have a complete control of the entire, right from the data path to the business solution, and making that solution really adaptable across the user from more versatile standpoint. So that's gives you a much control view of one place, right from looking at the 360-degree view, the control tower, and from there asking the relevant question on right from across, sitting on the control tower with your data. Data is connected really back to the through Athena, and Athena can answer you all that. And more importantly, all that anomalies that are getting detected being answered to you, and a lot of technology at the back end goes. We can love to address all that one by one. And Shiv Kumar, like if you want to move on to the next, and then we can quickly move across. When I start the day at 7 o'clock, as all Athena is connected at the back end completely, can those alerts be flowing to me when I'm starting my day at 7 o'clock? And can that be towards my actionable side for the day? So that by I reach by 9 o'clock to the office, I'm all set to start my day with all that I'm looking in for from my functional aspect. That could be from the sales, marketing, operations, logistics, all that across.
Hello, I'm Athena. I have found some interesting insights for you. Tin price reduced yesterday by minus 2.03%. Rhodium price increased yesterday by 5.88%. Soda ash has the highest price increase, 26.72%, in the last 1 month. There are 560 delinquent purchase order items. Spend for last week is $693.98 thousand. We are holding 24.33 million inventory in main warehouse. Month to date revenue is $622.62 thousand. Fulfilled order margin percent.
No. Okay. So these are those insights that Athena giving you on the kind of operations, right? So all those being alerted to you when you start the day, or depending upon the data refreshing that is happening, say about every 30 minutes or 1 hour, depending upon which function you are, all that across. Athena can come and alert you all those need to know insights, the business insights that as a functional head, I need to know, so that I make sure the right decisions are made, called out at the right time. That alerts are always available the moment the data is getting refreshed across. Once I get that, I can make a lot of actions across. And most of the features what Shiv Kumar did showcase on the web access, mobile version as well across, to just to give you a glimpse of what is happening there. Okay, Shiv Kumar, like maybe from the audience standpoint, I'll ask you a question. From us, like this control tower, we are looking towards the production system, location, business, multiple business, multifacets of the business, all that. And I would like, is there a way that we can build something for RCA analysis? For example, in the distribution and the retail space, there are a lot of time we come to know, right? On the shelf, the material is not available, what is selling, what is not selling. How do I make out a RCA analysis out of a control tower so that my entire business operations are intact? Is there a way?
The technology has an unlimited potential. So in a simple one word, the answer is yes. It has got a capability to understand what's going on. Okay, what lies into your system, as you mentioned earlier, okay, in one of the presentations, is that You need a master data, transactional data, and real-time third-party market data. Now, against that, the system, now the everyday changing is the third party and the transactional data. It keeps on analyzing it. Now, it could be your plan, it could be your actual executions. So, any anomaly, for example, my plan is to get the part, what we were looking into the OTIF, right? My plan is to have the part, like a 7th of August into my plan. And if it is coming on a 9th of August, okay, that system is sensing. Now that itself is an anomaly. So RCA mostly is a backward looking. Okay, once the event has happened, the artificial intelligence has a capability to analyze it and give you the upfront answer that where the things has gone wrong. But the bigger utility, I would say, of the control tower is that it brings you the actions before the event has occurred. Now that's an advanced level capability beyond RCA, so that you do not land into the trouble. Okay, like there are very common jargon called a surprise into the supply chain. That is last moment. Why am I getting to know last moment? Oh, this is a surprise. Now those elements are eliminated through artificial intelligence, so that there is no need of the even RCA, because RCA is done in case of a failure. So yes, backward looking RCA, it has got a capability, but I would say the more bigger utility of the artificial intelligence platform is what's happening, what's the anomaly, and what need to be controlled, so that we don't have to land into the trouble which calls for the RCA.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining this session, and I hope we had a good session across. And I see like slides. Can the slides be shared? Definitely, we can share the video post the session. Pallavi will reach out with all the video links, all that in next couple of days, and then you can have this. And we can also have one-to-one session from answering any of these questions across. So thank you everybody for this joining this wonderful session. Looking forward to meet you all.